If you're over 65 and taking what I'm about to reveal for your anxiety, you need to understand that this medication is silently destroying your brain in ways that most doctors won't tell you about, and the tragic reality is that millions of seniors are unknowingly trading temporary relief from anxiety for permanent damage to their memory, cognitive function, and independence. What I'm about to share with you might be difficult to hear, especially if you've been relying on this medication for months or years. But as someone who has witnessed the devastating effects firsthand, I'm begging you to listen carefully because your future mental clarity and quality of life may depend on what you do with this information. Right now, there's a class of medications that doctors prescribe more frequently to seniors than almost any other age group, and while these pills can provide quick relief from anxiety symptoms, they're also creating a hidden epidemic of cognitive decline that's being mistaken for normal aging when it's actually preventable brain damage. The medication I'm talking about is so commonly prescribed that you might have a bottle of it in your medicine cabinet right now, and if you do, you're not alone. Over 8 million seniors are currently taking these drugs, most of them completely unaware that every dose is potentially stealing precious cognitive abilities that once lost may never fully return. You see, when you're struggling with anxiety, especially the kind that can develop or worsen as we age due to health concerns, financial worries, loss of loved ones, or major life changes, the promise of quick relief can feel like a lifeline, and most doctors present these medications as safe, effective solutions without fully explaining the serious long-term risks, particularly for older adults whose brains are already more vulnerable to medication-induced damage. But here's what's happening in your brain every time you take one of these pills. They're interfering with the delicate balance of neurotransmitters that your brain needs to function properly. They're disrupting the natural sleep cycles that are essential for memory consolidation and brain repair, and they're creating a state of artificial sedation that your brain begins to depend on, making it harder and harder to function normally without them. The class of medications I'm referring to are benzodiazepines, which include drugs like Xanax, Ativan, Klonopin, and Valium, and while they can be effective for short-term anxiety relief, they become increasingly dangerous with long-term use, especially for seniors whose brains process these medications differently than younger adults. What makes this situation even more concerning is that these medications are often prescribed for conditions that could be effectively treated with safer alternatives, but because they work so quickly and doctors are pressed for time, they've become the go-to solution for anxiety, sleep problems, and even general restlessness in older adults. The most heartbreaking part is that many seniors start taking these medications during a particularly stressful period of their lives, intending to use them temporarily, but they quickly discover that stopping them is much harder than starting them, and what began as a short-term solution becomes a long-term dependency that's slowly eroding their cognitive abilities. Here's what most people don't understand about how benzodiazepines affect the aging brain. As we get older, our brains become less efficient at processing and eliminating these drugs, which means they stay in our system longer and accumulate to higher levels, creating effects that are much more pronounced and longer-lasting than in younger people. Additionally, the aging brain is already experiencing natural changes that affect memory, attention, and processing speed, and when you add medications that further impair these functions, you're creating a perfect storm for cognitive decline that can be mistaken for dementia or normal aging. Every time you take a benzodiazepine, you're essentially putting your brain into a state of artificial calm by suppressing the activity of neurons that are responsible for alertness, memory formation, and cognitive processing. While this might provide temporary relief from anxiety symptoms, it's also preventing your brain from functioning at its full capacity and interfering with the natural processes that keep your mind sharp and resilient. Over time, this suppression can lead to what researchers call cognitive dulling, where your thinking becomes slower, your memory becomes less reliable, and your ability to learn new information or adapt to new situations becomes significantly impaired. The research on this topic is both extensive and alarming. Studies have shown that seniors who use benzodiazepines regularly have a 43% to 84% increased risk of developing dementia, and even short-term use can cause memory problems, confusion, and difficulty concentrating that can last for months after stopping the medication. What's particularly concerning is that these cognitive effects often develop gradually, so you might not notice them at first, but family members and friends may start to observe changes in your mental sharpness, emotional regulation, or ability to handle daily tasks. The tragic irony is that while these medications are intended to reduce anxiety, they often create new sources of worry and fear as people begin to notice their cognitive abilities declining and worry that they're developing dementia or other serious brain conditions. Many seniors find themselves caught in a vicious cycle where they take benzodiazepines to manage anxiety, but the cognitive effects of the medication create new anxieties about their mental health, leading to increased medication use and further cognitive decline. Breaking this cycle requires understanding that there are much safer and more effective ways to manage anxiety in seniors, but it also requires working with healthcare providers who understand the unique risks these medications pose to the aging brain. The withdrawal process from benzodiazepines can be challenging and should never be attempted suddenly or without medical supervision, but with proper support and gradual reduction, most people can successfully discontinue these medications and experience significant improvements in their cognitive function. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not suggesting that anxiety in seniors should go untreated or that everyone should immediately stop taking these medications without medical guidance. Anxiety is a real and serious condition that can significantly impact quality of life, and there are many effective treatment options that don't carry the same risks as benzodiazepines. What I am saying is that seniors and their families need to be fully informed about these risks so they can make educated decisions about their treatment options and work with their healthcare providers to find safer alternatives. Some of the most effective non-medication treatments for anxiety in seniors include cognitive behavioral therapy, which teaches practical skills for managing anxious thoughts and behaviors, mindfulness-based interventions that help develop a different relationship with anxious feelings, regular physical exercise which naturally reduces anxiety and improves mood, and social support programs that address the isolation and loneliness that often contribute to anxiety in older adults. These approaches not only provide relief from anxiety symptoms but also improve overall cognitive function and quality of life without the risks associated with benzodiazepines. When medication is necessary for anxiety management, there are several alternatives that are much safer for seniors, including certain antidepressants that have anti-anxiety effects but don't impair cognitive function, and newer medications that target anxiety without the sedating effects of benzodiazepines. The key is working with a healthcare provider who understands the unique needs of older adults and is willing to take the time to explore all available options rather than defaulting to the quick fix of benzodiazepines. It's also important to address the underlying factors that may be contributing to anxiety in seniors, such as untreated depression, social isolation, financial stress, health concerns, or grief and loss. Many times, anxiety in older adults is a symptom of these deeper issues, and addressing the root causes can be much more effective than simply suppressing the symptoms with medication. This might involve connecting with community resources, working with a counselor or therapist, making lifestyle changes that improve overall health and well-being, or finding ways to build more meaningful social connections and purpose in daily life. If you're currently taking benzodiazepines, please don't panic or suddenly stop taking them, as this can be dangerous and cause serious withdrawal symptoms. Instead, I encourage you to have an honest conversation with your healthcare provider about your concerns and explore options for gradually reducing your dosage while implementing alternative anxiety management strategies. This process takes time and patience, but the benefits to your long-term cognitive health and overall well-being are immeasurable. Many people find that as they slowly reduce their benzodiazepine use and implement other anxiety management techniques, they not only feel less anxious but also experience improvements in their memory, mental clarity, and energy levels that they hadn't even realized they had lost. The brain's ability to heal and recover is remarkable, and even seniors who have been taking these medications for years can often experience significant cognitive improvements once they're discontinued safely. One of the most important things you can do if you're concerned about your anxiety medication is to become an active advocate for your own health care. This means asking questions about the medications you're prescribed, understanding both the benefits and risks, and insisting on exploring all available treatment options before settling on any particular approach. It also means being honest with your healthcare provider about any cognitive changes you've noticed since starting the medication and working together to determine whether the benefits truly outweigh the risks in your specific situation. Remember that you have the right to be fully informed about your treatment options and to participate in decisions about your care. Many seniors feel intimidated by healthcare providers or worry about being seen as difficult patients if they question prescribed treatments, but advocating for your cognitive health is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term well-being. Your brain is irreplaceable, and protecting it should be a top priority in any treatment plan. It's also crucial to involve family members or trusted friends in these conversations, as they may have noticed cognitive changes that you haven't recognized yourself, and they can provide valuable support as you work to find safer alternatives to benzodiazepines. Having a support system in place is essential for successfully managing anxiety without relying on potentially harmful medications, and the people who care about you want to see you maintain your cognitive health and independence as you age. The lifestyle changes that can help reduce anxiety naturally are often the same ones that support overall brain health and cognitive function. Regular physical exercise, even something as simple as daily walks, can significantly reduce anxiety while improving memory and mental clarity. Maintaining social connections and engaging in meaningful activities provides natural mood support and cognitive stimulation. Eating a healthy diet rich in brain-supporting nutrients, getting adequate sleep, and managing stress through relaxation techniques or meditation can all contribute to both anxiety reduction and cognitive health. These approaches take more time and effort than simply taking a pill, but they provide lasting benefits without the risks associated with benzodiazepines. I want to emphasize that recovering from benzodiazepine use and finding effective alternatives for anxiety management is absolutely possible, even if you've been taking these medications for years. The key is approaching the process with patience, proper medical support, and commitment to implementing healthier coping strategies. Many seniors who have successfully discontinued benzodiazepines report feeling more alert, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced than they have in years, and they often wish they had known about the risks sooner so they could have made different choices about their treatment. The goal isn't to eliminate all anxiety from your life, which isn't realistic or even desirable, but to develop healthy ways of managing normal anxiety that don't compromise your cognitive function or independence. Some level of anxiety is a normal part of life, especially as we face the challenges and changes that come with aging, but there are many effective ways to cope with these feelings without resorting to medications that pose serious risks to your brain health. Learning to tolerate and work with anxiety rather than simply suppressing it can actually build resilience and confidence that serve you well in all areas of life. As you consider your own situation and the information I've shared, I want you to think about what kind of future you want for yourself. Do you want to maintain your mental sharpness, independence, and ability to fully engage with life as you age, or are you willing to risk these precious qualities for temporary relief from anxiety? The choice isn't always easy, especially when you're struggling with significant anxiety symptoms, but understanding the true costs and benefits of different treatment options empowers you to make decisions that serve your long-term well-being rather than just providing short-term relief. Remember that seeking help for anxiety is a sign of strength, not weakness, and there are many effective treatment options available that don't carry the serious risks associated with benzodiazepines. The most important step is to have open, honest conversations with healthcare providers who understand the unique needs of older adults and are committed to finding the safest and most effective treatments for your specific situation. Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek second opinions, or explore alternative approaches if you're not comfortable with the medications you've been prescribed. Your cognitive health is too important to risk unnecessarily, and you deserve treatment options that support both your mental well-being and your long-term brain health. If this information has opened your eyes to the risks you may be taking with your current anxiety medication, please don't wait to take action. Schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider to discuss your concerns and explore safer alternatives. Share this information with other seniors who may be taking benzodiazepines without fully understanding the risks. Together, we can help more older adults protect their cognitive health while still getting the support they need for anxiety and other mental health challenges. The time to act is now, before any more precious cognitive abilities are lost to medications that promise relief but deliver lasting harm. Your brain, your independence, and your future self are worth the effort it takes to find safer, more effective ways to manage anxiety and maintain your mental health as you age.